All right, I call this meeting to order at 5 p.m. Okay. This is Director Johnson, can you listen to the on, please?
Fight, Tigers, fight. Continue.
All right. Moving into roll call, Lieutenant General Jallo.
President Colquitt,
President.
Vice President Bell,
President.
Treasurer Onoga, Chief of Staff Como, Deputy Chief of Staff Moore, Director Boncha, Director Battle, Assistant Director Parker, Director Traore, Assistant Director Campbell, Director Farmer, Assistant Director Johnson, Assistant Director M. Kumbuzi, Director Edwards, Assistant Director Dixon, Director Thompson,
President.
Director Fletcher, Director Lasagna, Assistant Director Abdul, Director Adewale, Assistant Director Ajayi, Director Brown, Representative Tang, Representative Linsky. Thank you. Representative Lewis,
President.
Representative Johnson, Representative Robinson, President Pro Tempore Rhymes, Senator Charles Duru, Senator Liu,
President.
Senator So, Senator Agumezi, Senator Chen,
President.
Government Operations Chair Crosby,
President.
Senator Umo, Senator Holland, Senator Bendu, Appropriations Chair Jackson, Senator Weems, Senator Fithian Wilson, Chief Justice Bennett, Associate Justice Sonia,
All right, moving to the approval of the minutes. All right. Okay with that. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Hearing and seeing none. All right, we had a guest speaker, Christopher Ndosh, for the student organizations. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, he won't be able to make it tonight, so we'll just move on. Any public participation, student concerns in the gallery? Right, hearing and seeing that. Moving into communications, Advisor Harris.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. It's the week before spring break. We'll try one more time. Happy Tiger Tuesday. Okay, that was a little better. What happened? Report, y'all. You know, life is good. I just came from Disney World. I don't think I have a report. I'm trying to look at Joel. Do I have a report? No. Happy Tiger Tuesday. Oh, well, I'll share from Title Pride Day. Thanks for coming. It was a good time, despite the rain. We are currently compiling the feedback. So at the end of the event, students answered a few questions. As soon as we have that information compiled, we'll share a little report. I also believe there may have been a story in the TU today. There was supposed to be one on Friday, if there wasn't. So congratulations and thank you for participating in Tiger Pride Day. I yield.
Appropriations Committee.
Meet on Friday at 11 o'clock downstairs. I yield.
Rules Committee. I'm sorry, Government Operations Committee.
We won't have GovOps this week. We don't have any legislation to review. Oh, pull something up that Chris Rendosh was going to tell us, something very brief. If you're interested in the SGA election, the SGA petitions are available for students to run March 25th. I think that's like the main thing that he wanted you guys to know, want to get everybody involved in elections. Please do not come to me about information about elections. Please go to Ms. Harris. She holds all the information for that. Again, Ms. Harris has the information for it. Come to me. The final seat for budget allocations, if you are interested in it, this is the last day for it. I have some people's schedules. It will be based on your availability and your ability to come to the hearings and deliberation. So if this is like your last call, senators, for it, if you want to be in it. Other than that, I'll let you guys know. And yeah, any questions? With that, I yield.
Rules Committee.
So no rules on Friday. We're gonna go into spring break, real calm, so no rules on Friday. But I did just email everybody in here, just an updated version of the Constitution, because I did make one small amendment to the one that was in the bill packet. Are there any questions? And with that, I yield. Thank you.
President Copeland.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Tiger Tuesday. How y'all feeling? Like spring break? Okay, I'll try to be brief. Just a few quick updates for you all today and reminders. So there are opportunities through the Elections Commission and the Office of Student Activities that are conducting SGA elections soon to get involved with those activities. If you're a graduating or a non-returning member that will not participate in elections or seek a position in the next administration, you can attend the events on behalf of SGA and kind of answer questions for students and such. So on March 28th, we have Senate and Snacks at 6 p.m. April 1st, Judicial Jamboree. Okay. All right. April 3rd, there's an SGA Q&A session. And so I did put that in the group meet. Please email or text. Whatever is fine. If you're interested in those, then we'll get you appointed ASAP. Also, graduates, who graduated this spring, y'all? Make some noise, make some noise. So please, by close of business tomorrow, email sga@towson.edu if you are graduating spring 2024, so we can get a head count for our stole orders. And if you're interested in being on the stage party, meaning you sit on the stage and you help with, handing out the degrees, please email sg@towson.edu. Those positions will be given out based on seniority. So if there's any competing graduates, it will be given out based on that. Close the business tomorrow. If you don't email, don't expect a stove. The last thing that I wanted to share was that the 2024 Student Affairs Leadership Awards are now active. They opened up March 1st, and they close Tuesday, March 26th. So that's after spring break. There are a lot of different awards. I encourage you to check it out on all.towson.edu. We'll send it out in the group me as well. A lot of different awards that you can nominate yourself or fellow SGA members for. So I encourage you all to check those out. We've had a couple members get nominations and awards throughout the years. It's an amazing event. And then there's an invite-only award ceremony on May 2nd that'll take place for any people that actually do win the awards. And last up, for our member of the week, we have a member of the legislative branch that has really showed perseverance and dedication with SGA, and has really played a key part in today's GA. We'll hear more about our election bill being policy. So thanks for your hard work, and join me in congratulating Senator Luke. I said I was brief, and then I wasn't brief. Does anyone have any questions? Nope. Okay, thank you. That I yield.
Treasurer on Walker.
We'll be back on Tuesday. I must just say Friday, March 15th, final budgets are due. So if you're a student, or be sure to reach that deadline. And hope everybody enjoys their spring break. And then the week after that, budget committee, we got budget hearings. So please, and yeah, any questions? With that, I yield.
Attorney General Jello.
No report.
Chief of Staff O'Connor.
No report.
Department, oh, no. Department of Civic Engagement. Somebody pass me the mic, please. Oh, Officer Smith. Same thing. Thank you, Officer Smith.
No report.
Public Communications.
No report.
Public Community Outreach.
Hi, everyone. So just a couple of things today. Last Saturday, volunteering was canceled because of a lack of volunteers. Just a reminder that all of you need 5 hours community service every semester. And this Saturday, the track and field team is hosting their home week, so they need as many volunteers as possible. So please sign up for that. The link was sent since last week. Director Barrow sent the link again in his weekly email. So please sign up for that. I know it's spring break, but please sign up to help. And the Transfer Council is also having a volunteering opportunity. Also this Saturday, they sent the information in the group chat today. I think they're gonna talk more about that. Any question?
Department of Diversity and Inclusion. Wait, yes.
Hi, so please join Bettering Black Minds this Thursday for a day in a Black Mind from 6:30 to 8:30 in Lecture Hall Room 0238. Vice President Bell and Pro Tem for Rhines will be speaking. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Department of Health and Wellness.
Hey everyone, we're having an event called Tiger's Flea Market. It is Friday, March 29th from 2 to 5. So if you have any friends who have like small businesses, have them, or when the flyers posted, have them sign up.
I go for Department of Legislative Affairs. So thank y'all, everybody, for coming down to Tiger Friday. Oh, I gotta stand up, right? Coming down to Tiger Friday last week. We had an amazing time, amazing moments with, meeting with legislators and, viewing the, State House, not State House and legislative buildings and the House floor and Senate floor when they were in session. So thank you all so much for your participation. It means a lot. And you just never know what opportunities you get from just showing face. So yeah, thank y'all so much. Department of Special Projects.
No report.
Department of Marketing. No report. Department of Student Services and Affairs.
Sorry, y'all, this one will be a little long. Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Thanks, guys. I'm surprised none of my counterparts spoke, but we went to the Academic Senate on Monday and we were able to discuss the bill with them and we got pretty good feedback. They won't vote on it until next month. I think it's April 7th. So we'll be sure to keep you guys updated on March 8th. April 8th, sorry. So we'll be sure to keep you guys updated on that, but we did get good feedback. So thank you guys for that. As President Colquitt mentioned, SALA nominations are open, but the new thing about this year is that if you want to be nominated for a scholarship, only you can nominate yourself. So no one else can nominate you for a scholarship. You have to self-nominate, and you can find it on Involved@TU. And last thing is Street Team will be meeting on Thursday, but we're not going to go out onto the campus. We're going to discuss the feedback we got the last 2 times to start, discussing how you want to go about those things. Any questions? And with that, I yield.
Department of Student Organizations.
No report.
Department of New Student Development.
Sorry, guys. Happy Tiger Tuesday. So I've been working on getting Transfer Council and Freshman Council their own logos. And I have a meeting with Mary Claire from the NSFP office regarding orientation. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Military and Veterans Representative.
Hello, everybody. Hope everyone has a safe spring break. The one thing I just want to talk about is we're kickstarting the TU MVC fan group. And that's basically like, instead of focus on veterans themselves, we focus on the family members. So if you ever talk to anyone, you go like, hey, how are you paying for college? You're like, oh, my dad was in the Army. Say, oh my gosh, be involved, you weirdo. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Athletic Affairs Representative. All right. Greek Life Representative.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tiger Tuesday. Not much for me to report on. The Friday after spring break, I'm hosting a Greek Life Town Hall for all Greeks to attend, but as well as I talked to President Colquitt, and I hope that if the time works for you, I'll provide you more information about it, but President Colquitt will be there to provide more information on how SGA can better support the Greek Life community. So yeah, if there are any questions or no questions, I will yield.
President Colquitt.
I forgot to mention, guys, during my report that Representative Linsky did accept the position as an RA, so if you see her, congratulate her. And so because of that, URG, you're not allowed to be in URG and RA, so they have to send another representative who we'll hear from shortly. And please introduce yourself. Welcome.
University Residence Government Representative.
Hi, my name is Ali. I'm the Vice President of University Residence Government, and we're all so happy for Gabby with the position she's gotten and a much better living space. But we will be going through shifts of who will be here, and I believe our advisors are deciding on that over spring break. So whoever is here after spring break will likely be here to stay. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Sports Club Council Representative.
Hi, guys. So almost fortunately, the Sport Club Council has not had to meet yet this semester, which is a good thing because it means there's been no issues with clubs. But we are in the process of kind of revamping the requirements for all sport club teams. Nathan, who's the assistant director for all sport clubs, was recently looking at all of the requirements and reaching out to universities to see how ours compared to theirs. And we actually had among the highest and most strict requirements for things like community service and tier points and fundraising. So the FCC is just going to be looking at over the next week or so ways to make it easier for clubs to retain members, get new officers interested, and make things easier on the logistics side. Any questions? I yield.
Parents and Student Representative. Parents and Student Representative.
Oh, hi, yeah. We had, a FAFSA event, last week and a women's trivia this week. An upcoming community service event that we have, this Saturday, March 16th with Art with a Heart. It is just, a volunteering, center where you basically just make art that is directly funded for kids and education, so that they can have a productive school life. So definitely come and support the kids. I yield.
Freshman Council Representative.
Last week we left. Hello, everyone. So last week we collabed with the Health and Wellness Department, and we did a tabling event where we got more than 200 signatures for the wellness bill. So that was pretty successful in my opinion.
All right, happy Tiger Tuesday. Here we go. All right, not too much to report. So me and the Senate Selection Committee interviewed 2 applicants for the Senate position. Oh, was that the week before last? The week before last, my bad, there's been a lot that happened in the past 2 weeks. So the week before last, and so they're here tonight to be confirmed. Also emphasizing the budget allocation meetings and committee. That's a very important task for the senators to do alongside Treasurer. So do please, if you're interested, do please go to those meetings and get involved. And so we can have a smooth transition of the budget committee so we give folks their money. Lastly, I attended the listening session prep. President Gishman will be doing a listening session later this month, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a meeting on Thursday or Friday, I don't remember which day, with Dr. Hurd and some other folks about how to prepare for this event and what to expect at the event. And so hopefully you all will be in attendance. I believe it's in place. I believe it's in place at GA. I just got half of GA, so it'll be again at 6. And so, yeah, so you all will be having to be in attendance at that as well. So yeah, ain't nothing much more to report. So yeah, Are there opinions of the court?
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Okay, so the court does have a few opinions. So we met with Towson University Student Nurses Association February 28th, and the judicial board has decided to deny their appeal. The judicial board also met with International Student Association February 28th, and the judicial board also has decided to deny their appeal. The judicial board also met with Fusion Dance Team March 1st, and the judicial board has decided to grant their appeal. The judicial board also met with Original Blend March 8th, and the judicial board has decided to grant their appeal. And yesterday, the judicial board also met with Sisterhood March 11th, and the judicial board has decided to grant their appeal. And we also have a new associate justice member being confirmed today. And I have also appointed a new deputy chief justice Deputy Chief Justice Sonia, so. And with that, I do.
So now we can move into quorum call really quickly. So when the vote pops up, just mark that you're here. Alrighty, and with that, we're at quorum. Checking them on the back.
We're gonna run through y'all's numbers real quick. 1, Eddie. 2, Crosby. Look at the back of y'all numbers, so look at the back of y'all things so we know. 12, Hope Share Jackson. Is it 12? 4, Senator Duru. 5, Senator Liu. 6, Senator So.
Yeah.
7, Senator Aguamizi. I say your name right. That's it, sorry. 8, Senator Chin. 9, Senator Uba, so y'all should. 10, Senator Holland. 11, Senator Bindu. 13, Senator Williams. Was that 13? Who, what is that one right there? Okay, scoot it over there. Somebody go to person. 14, Senator 50 Wilson. We'll do that again.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go back into the quorum call one more time. So when the vote opens up, just mark that you're here. Now we're officially at quorum. Are there any motions on the floor? Governor Operations Chair Crosby. Motion to review resolution number 12. Fine, is there a second? Thank you, Senator Duru. And with that, we can now move to a vote on reviewing resolution number 12. Okay, with that, the motion is passed, and we can now move into the review phase of resolution number 12. Seeing that it's a confirmation bill, I just asked that both Kelly Chukwu, Wanetti, and Olusemi Solasani both come up in the middle and tell us just a little bit about why you would like to join SGA. Thank you.
Okay, good evening all. As you all previously know, I was a Director of Civic Engagement and Sustainability. However, I decided to make the switch to join the, I decided to become a senator. And one of the reasons why I decided to become a senator was because in my previous position, I was mostly advocating students. I was mostly encouraging students to advocate, and I think now I want to be allowing students to have basically make sure their voice is heard.
Good evening, council. My name is Color Chukwuwanati, and today I wanted to say why I wanted to become a part of the SGA. First and foremost, I wanted to become a part of the SGA, not only to bring change, but to be surrounded around like-minded individuals who are also trying to bring change. As a transfer student, one of my goals as a senator is to possibly develop a bill that would help incorporate transfer students a little bit better into the Townsend environment. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for either one of them? All right, seeing none, I just ask that you both quickly step out while we discuss. Thank you. One more round of applause, yeah. Would anybody like to speak on either one of their behalves? All right. Government Operations Chair Crosby. With that, I would like to call the question. All right, is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator Drew. With that, we can now move into a vote on the call to question. All right, and with that, resolution number 12 has passed. Can someone please get the door and let them in? Round of applause when they walk in, yeah.
Okay, y'all stand in the middle. I gotta swear y'all in real quick. Right, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully serve the students of Towson University, execute all of the duties and responsibilities of this position, and strive to achieve the high level of expectation that accompanies a position within the Student Government Association of Towson University. I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and all other governing documents of the Student Government Association, Towson University, to the best of my ability. Congratulations, y'all. We're gonna send y'all to Ukraine now.
Just a reminder, y'all can both sit, come here with us now. Yeah, y'all are senators now, so. But just to make it clear, y'all can't vote yet until you're trained. So some point this week, we'll get y'all both trained on everything. But for today, though, you can't vote. But you can still, ask questions and whatnot. Are there any motions on the floor? Operations Chair Crosby. Motion to review resolution number 13. All right, is there a second? Thank you, Senator Liu. And with that, we can now move into a vote on reviewing resolution number 13. All right. That resolution number, the motion to review resolution number 13 is passed. and we can now move to review phase. Seeing that this is also a confirmation bill, I ask that Kendra Bryan, can you please come to the front and also just do the same? Just tell us a little bit about why you would like to be in SGA. Thank you.
Hi, my name is it one? Hi, my name is Kendra Bryant, and I am a sophomore mass communications journalism major here at Towson University. As well as that, I serve as a former writer of the Tower Light, as well as her campus editor-in-chief. I would like to be a part of SGA simply because I am really passionate about one thing that has to do with the student organization process, which is the funding. So I feel like that's something that I definitely want to advocate for as far as new organizations here at Towson, as well as being a transfer from a historically Black college, Howard University. There's just certain things that I would like to implement in Towson, and I would just like to make a change. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for her? All right, seeing none. Kendra, I just asked you please walk out really quickly while we discuss. Thank you. Would anyone like to speak on her behalf? All right, Governor Robert, Senator Vivian Wilson.
Why not the Senate? Does anyone know why?
Well, I'm not gonna try to answer the question, but based on what I interpreted as, she said that she is adamant about the funding process, and I know the J board, well, judicial branch, they thoroughly review, you know, all types of funding requests and appeals and all that stuff with student orgs. So maybe that was her thought process. Director Adewale.
Also, like the J board gets to like talk to student orgs if they ever, you know, need any help or need to review a lot of stuff. So she feels like maybe she can help them in that section. I would also like to say she's my president for her campus, and she works really hard, like tirelessly, and she puts her all in whatever she does. So I would like to say that as well.
Government Operations Chair Crosby. I would like to call the question. Is there a second? Thank you, Senator Chang. And with that, we can now move to a vote on the call to question for resolution number 13. All right, with that, the call to question has passed, and we can now move into an actual vote on resolution number 13. Yeah, we haven't voted yet. Sorry, Representative Rouse. That was the call to question. No phones, yeah. That's great. All right, with that, resolution number 13 is passed. Representative Robinson, could you please let her in? Round of applause, ma'am.
Okay, just repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully serve the students of Towson University, execute all of the duties and responsibilities of this position, and strive to achieve the high level of expectation that accompanies a position within the Student Government Association of Towson University. I will persevere. I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and all other governing documents of the Student Government Association of Towson University to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Before I ask, if there are any motions on the floor, I do make a recommendation that we break Senate rules for Senate Bill number 13. Governor Operations Chair Crosby.
Motion to break Senate rules and review Senate Bill number 13.
Is there a second? Thank you, Senator Duro. And with that, we can now move to a vote. All right, that's the motion. We have now moved to the review phase of Senate Bill number 13. Since I'm the author of this bill, I'm going to have to give the chair over to Government Operations Chair Crosby while I introduce it. All right, so Senate Bill number 13 is the updated and revised version of the Constitution. As you know, during my term as President Pro Tempore, the main goal was to literally go in and just fix the whole Constitution. So we started from scratch and made a whole new one. There is still, a few of the same things that, were necessary to keep, but this is a whole new document. We cut it down from, I believe, 31 pages to 15 pages. So getting rid of all the inconsistencies and, some of the things that were just didn't need to be in the Constitution itself, since it is a shell of what we do as an org, we removed all that. So I'm just gonna present it to you all, and I also emailed it to everyone in SGA. So if you'd like to pull that up, go ahead so you can just follow along. You can go ahead, yeah. So starting with the addition of a resignation and vacancy section for everybody. So at first, there was a section under each article for legislative, executive, and judicial branches. And it stated, the resignations and vacancies for each section, but it was the same thing in each section. So I talked to Advisor Harris and she said, why don't we just make that one big section where we can focus on it holistically, since it's saying the same thing in each one. So that's what we did. And that's on page 4, if you would like to just see that. Next slide. And then same thing with the addition of a term conditions section, which is located on page 5. Just, same gist. It was in there under every article. So we just decided to make a main section that focused on it holistically. Next slide. So I'm not sure if any of you knew, because we never kind of really focused on it, but it was in the Constitution from way back when, I assume. So before, there was a difference between the Executive Council and the Executive Cabinet. So it was two different things. I'm pretty sure the Executive Council was select few directors and then the representatives, and then the Executive Cabinet was mainly made up of the directors. So I asked Chief of Staff Okomo, do you guys recognize this distinction? Is this something you guys do already? And she was like, no, we don't really look at it like that. Everyone's under the cabinet as a whole. So I asked her, do you think I should take it out? She was like, yeah, sure. So we just combined it all. So now it's just the Executive Cabinet. And that's on page 6, if you would like to view that. Next slide. So for this one, I removed some of the executive board members' powers and responsibilities out of the Constitution. They will all be in the bylaws fully, but I felt like some of the ones that were in the Constitution were just structural things, that could have went in the bylaws. And obviously, I was very selective about what I chose to remove because the Constitution, obviously it's our main governing document, and it takes, a little bit of a pull to manipulate. You have to get the 2/3 Senate vote here and to get it voted on in the election cycle to make a change in the Constitution. With bylaws, it's just a student Senate vote, and then whatever changes is the change. But I left the things in there that I felt necessary so they couldn't be easily changed. And that's on pages 6 through 9 for each of the e-board positions. Some more than others, but for the most part, not much of a difference. Everything's still in there. Next slide. So one of my personal favorites, the new composition of the Student Senate. So before the way we had it, the Student Senate, they were just senators, students who come in and, their background doesn't really matter. They don't really have to come from anywhere aside from the 7 seats we have allocated to transfers and freshman students. But aside from that, each senator just comes in as they are, whether appointed or elected. And they weren't really like a representative of anything. Like they just came and they voted and that was it. But in rules, we decided, and we thought it'd be a good idea if each senator kind of represented something. And so we asked ourselves like, okay, what is the best thing that they could represent, just so they could be more than just, a vote. And we decided that the colleges on campus was a good idea. Obviously, they can advocate for them, they can be in direct communication with them, and it can help just, form a good bond between SGA and each college on campus. So it will, depending on how many students are in each college on that academic year of the administration, that'll determine how many seats go to the college. So for example, let's say College of Liberal Arts has the most students in that academic year. In our Senate, the most seats would be allocated to the College of Liberal Arts. And you also do not have to be a student from that college to be a representative in your Senate seat, but it would be, cool if you were, but it's not a requirement, of course. And I also changed the amount of senators that were not appointed or elected. So before it was, I think, 4 transfers and 3 freshmen, and that was a total of 7 seats allocated to them, and then 18 appointed or elected. But I changed it, so now there's 21 seats appointed or elected, and then I have 2 seats delegated to freshman students and then 2 seats delegated to transfer students if they wish to join the Senate. And that's on page 10 if you would like to look at that. Next slide. So this one, the removal of the judicial board, I know it sounds crazy, but it's not. So the judicial board and judicial branch are 2 separate things. The distinction was a little confusing, so I thought it was best if we just removed the judicial board altogether. Well, not removed it, but just combined it with the judicial branch. So now it's just the judicial branch. And also I know when there was the Office of the Solicitor General, there kind of was a little confusion about like, who that belonged to. So I'll get into that a little later, but that had a little to do with the decision to remove the judicial board. And that's located on page 12. Everything just says judicial branch now. Next slide. So like I said, the removal of the Office of the Solicitor General. So our Director Brown right here, she was the last Solicitor General of the administration ever. So you can take that with you. I know you got that nice t-shirt, you frame that. But the position itself just didn't have much use in the administration at the current moment. And I know that sounds crazy because, obviously each administration is different. But just the past few administrations, it didn't have much use. When Director Brown was in the position, she did do a lot. She did know your rights. She helped out with appeals and all of that kind of stuff. But just the position itself, it was kind of confusing on who it belonged to, with whether it was executive branch or the judicial branch or judicial board, all confusing. So just to keep it, cleaner and more concise, we decided to remove the Office of the Solicitor General. So Director Brown, thank you for your hard work. Next slide. So the impeachment update in the Constitution. So I'm not sure if any of you know, but the way it was before, the entire impeachment process was located in the Constitution, like who the power belonged to, how the trial would work, the special sessions, all of that. So in my eyes, I figured that was just a lot of structural stuff that didn't need to be there that could go in the bylaws. But the one thing that I decided to leave in there, and this is on page 14, if you would like to look at it real quick. Let me scroll down. the one thing I decided to leave there was just the fact that the voting power of impeachment still rests solely with the Senate. So we will be making a few updates to the accountability process itself. I'm not going to get into that. We'll see that next week. But just having this here, it's still the same, like the voting still happens with the Senate on impeachments. But everything else, like the whole process of it will go in the bylaws. So it's not going anywhere, but it just didn't need to be in the Constitution word for word. Next slide. Oh, okay, that's it. Any questions? Director Brown?
Okay, so for the senator representative for the colleges, I know you said 6, which is like the main 6 colleges, but honors college is also a thing, so would they have representatives?
No, only because I had a talk with Advisor Harris about this, and we both came to the conclusion that honors college is not exactly like a separate entity. Like it's just more so students, like, but it's not a college itself. Like it's recognized as a college, but in terms of like how you compare it to the other 6, it's not the same. So it wouldn't really make sense to like have a representative for them.
Thank you.
Interim President Pro Tempore Crosby.
Yes, as somebody who worked alongside, this is the general statement, just by the way, as somebody who worked alongside of this process, a lot of these decisions were made in rules for one. This is not just Pro Tempore Ryan's going rogue on our constitution. So all those times we said, come to rules, we're working on this. This is what this is. So I'm not gonna go by specifics, but most of the things that were removed were either things that should not be inside of a constitution, things that strictly should be in the bylaws. And we want to frame the documents around things that we normally do. One thing, if you take a look at our documents as they stand now, they just aren't things that we do as far as the executive council, having a solicitor general consistently, things like that, we just don't need. So we want to form documents based on how we actually operate and not what was just there some odd years ago. So yeah, this was a very thorough process.
Yes, thank you for that. Advisor Harris?
I have a general point of information. When y'all get ready to actually discuss, which I think requires a motion, whatever was submitted to Sean, or excuse me, to Vice President Bell for the agenda, like what's in the bill packet, is the official document. And there should be motions to edit the document. So I know that Eddie, excuse me, professional terms, but I know that Pro Tempore Ryan sent an email with updated language. That is fine for your reference. A motion still needs to happen on the floor to officially change what was submitted. Does that make sense? So there has to be a record of an official change by the student senate, just to clarify.
Thank you, Advisor Harris.
Do we need a motion if we have the bill writer here, or can he just say he's making amendments to his own bill right now?
It can be a friendly amendment, but it has to be official.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion from Pro Tempore Ryan's to.
Yes, I'm gonna make a friendly amendment just to change the official reference we have. So changing it from the one that was in the bill packet to the one that I emailed out a few minutes ago. Representative Robinson.
We're gonna have to wait on that. We have a motion on the floor. Yeah, just real quick.
We still gotta vote on it though since it was friendly?
I'll yield to it. I don't think so. I think he could just motion to.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll make a motion to make a friendly amendment from changing the official document that we are using as a reference to the Constitution, from the one that was in the bill packet to the one that I emailed out a few minutes ago. For the record, Representative Robinson.
Yes. The one thing I have a question about is, whenever I was writing my bill, where I found the description of each like position was in the Constitution, where they get moved to.
Oh, thank you for reminding me to talk about that. So before, every director and representative position was in the Constitution. I'm not really sure why. That's like a bylaws thing, but I did remove all of them, but they're gonna be in the bylaws. So thank you for bringing that up though. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
there are no more questions, we'll now move into a vote on resolution, this Senate Bill number 13. No, we didn't move, nobody motioned it, but yes, yes.
Supervisor Harris.
Okay, so acknowledging that the Constitution, I think, was sent out yesterday or earlier this week, and that there's been maybe a small amount of time to review. It was allowed for you all to bring your laptops so that you could review the bill packet because it is so large. Does everyone have the Constitution in front of them right now that has a computer or a digital device? Yeah, y'all, words.
Yes.
Yes, okay. If you're sitting near someone, if you don't have it and you're sitting near someone who has a computer, I encourage you to look along. I don't know the message about this, but there are a few things, maybe some point of information that I'd love to share. There's some language in the section about the Senate, so the number of seats don't match. So, yes. So before y'all vote to confirm this, because after the Constitution, after you all vote, it gets reviewed by administrators, and then it ends up on the ballot at elections. And whatever gets voted on, and if it passes in elections, that becomes your new Constitution. So it is important that you are reviewing this document and ensuring that it is in line with what you believe should be the new Constitution for SGA. So we just take a second. In addition to that, there's a section, there is another section I think that needs to be reviewed. Oh, for the Senate breakdown. So the more students who are enrolled in a college, the more seats. General questions you might consider. Who selects how many seats there are available? Is it the advisor? Is it the chair of the election commission? Is it the pro tem? Who does that? So let's answer some more questions or maybe ask some more questions before you all vote.
Thank you, Advisor Harris. I will revoke my I might have wanted to give you guys some time to review the bill. I will entertain a motion for just about 2-3 minute recess, a 5-minute recess to review over the new Constitution, pose any questions, any concerns that you may have. Anybody want to make that motion? Oh, Senator Cynthia Wilson.
I motion to
Move into a recess.
move into a recess
A 5-minute
for
recess.
5 minutes.
Yes, and please take this time to read the Constitution and pose any questions that you may have. Watch Mr. Phelps get us there. He's gonna get us there for a second. So bear with us. Open. Everyone. All right, with that, we are now in a 5-minute recess. This is the official timer of that. Please, like I said, review the bill in its entirety. If you have any questions during the recess, please locate me or anybody in the Rules Committee, me, what's up for Ryan's. You can feel free to answer any questions.
the bylaws.
I would yield to Advisor Harris, but I will say, if we do put it in the bylaws, I mean, obviously, it's supposed to get done, but it's not as mandatory as it should be. So let's say 1 year, if it is in the bylaws, 1 year, we don't know how many seats are supposed to be for each college in the Senate because the advisors just didn't get around to it. And so now we're kind of like scrambling, trying to figure out, okay, what do we do? Because the seats being representative of colleges is locked in the Constitution. So it would just kind of be a little difficult. But if we had it in the Constitution, in my opinion, I feel like it would ensure that they have to do that for us at the very least. But I would yield to Advisor Harris.
I concur.
President Colquitt.
Yeah, I feel like there's a way to make that a formula. I don't know, or is there a way to just make it a flat amount per college? Like all of our colleges are big enough that if it's 5 or 6 per college, it wouldn't even be that much because we have 6 colleges, right?
Yeah, 7, but minus honors college, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
6.
about like, if you did like 7 senators per college, our colleges are big enough where we should be able to find those students. I just don't know how you would find, like, you just wake up and say like, oh, I want 3 from CLA. I don't know. You know, but I'll yield to you if you guys have any.
Yeah, I will make a note really quickly that the senator doesn't have to be from that college to be a representative. So that kind of gets away from the fact of like having to pick from a certain college and maybe like, okay, we might not get enough from College of Business Economics this year. So what do we do now? So it kind of eliminates that. But I do see what you're saying. And a flat amount, if you guys feel that would be more efficient, we could go that route.
Yeah, I think your answer even further demonstrates why a flat amount would be what work.
I think a flat amount as well, just because the same way we have our senator committees locked in a certain amount, and I'm assuming that we're at the maximum 25 seats. I think it'll just leave that space for those seats to be filled. And I think it can be up to the discretion of any administration on how they want to allocate those senators to those colleges, but we'll have a maximum seats per college.
Okay, now that makes sense. So then I would ask, just a general idea, what do you think would be good, just if you had to go off the top of your head for each college?
How many did you have reserved for freshman transfers?
So 4 in total, 2 for each. So like 2 seats for freshmen.
There's how many senators?
21 appointed and elected. Well, as if everyone was elected, it'd be 21.
I would say divide the remaining seats by the number of colleges, and if that would be a good idea in my head.
All right.
Does that work?
It would be a little, because there's 6 colleges, 21 seats, so it would be a little uneven, but I guess we could just come up with that determination based on what we feel is the bigger.
It will be, since it will be 25 seats, we could do 4 senators per college, and then based on that 1 extra senator, based on the advisor's discretion, it can be allocated to the college that they feel needs the most concern, or it can be an at-large senator.
I think, okay, I have a proposal. I don't know if this would be.
Yeah, this is definitely.
If there's 4 senators per 6 college, 4.
So the way I'm understanding, y'all said 4 for each college, and then 1 left over would just be to someone's discretion. Oh, pro temp or, okay.
You can do 4 for each college, that's 20. 2 and 2 freshman transfer, and then 1 at large. But I think what Senator Crosby is saying.
If we did 4 for each college, it would be 24. And that 1 person would be the pro temp who's not representative, so that would make sense. Advisor Harris.
Note that y'all are limiting yourself to 25 and you don't have to. You're making all the rules right now. So you don't have to stay at 25 as your number. Just saying.
Well, then that goes into the question, do y'all feel we should have more or less Senate seats? Senator Duro?
I think it's best to kind of like have like a little bit more just to even out the numbers, because I understand probably why you want to make it less, but at the same time, like you're trying to figure out where you're trying to put the remaining senators. So I think that's my suggestion, honestly. I don't know where anybody feels, but that's me.
If you, you said more, so do you have a specific number in mind or?
Honestly, I would just set it back to like, instead of 25, at least put it down at 24, or just have an even amount, to be honest.
Is that something we can?
I was an idea of 24 as well. That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
So we will have 24, we will have the seats capped out at 24, and then it'll be 4 senators per college.
Yeah, so then that would just, the only thing that would change with that, if we move from 25 to 24, there would just be, we would leave the 2 freshmen to transfer seats, and we would just say there would be 20 elected and appointed.
Yeah.
Another suggestion. So since we have the freshman transfer college, do you want to just have, council, sorry about that. Since we have those councils, do we want to just have this idea be strictly for the colleges? And since it would just be the 4, basically we'll just cut that part out and we would just go straight to having 4 senators per college. That's it.
So if I'm understanding what you're saying cut the 4 seats that are reserved to them out. But that's not that's all we can do.
Does everybody understand? Well,
If I
there's
All right, this is the fun part. So to acknowledge the freshman and transfer seats, the reason those exist, remember your elections happen in the spring semester. Freshman students are not here in the spring semester to be afforded an opportunity to participate in Senate. If you are in a best case scenario situation and all senators are elected in the spring semester, there would not be room for a voting Senate voice for a freshman or transfer student who starts in the fall semester. Reserving those seats for those students allows for their voice to be present in the student senate. So consider that as you're making your decision.
So to include those 4, let's do, hear me out, everybody, 28, 24, we'll have the 4 senators per 6 colleges, including the 4 seats as mentioned for the freshman and transfer council. So it'll be 24 plus that 4, that's how we're getting to 28.
That's an idea.
No one talking about the line.
President Copeland. I think that's a great plan. Senator Finney Wilson.
And at times when the Senate is sitting at about 13 senators, does the amount of representatives for each college not matter anymore because?
So we do have a minimum, so like I just added that, but the minimum of each college would be 2 seats. So as long as we have 6 senators, not 6, as long as we have.
So if you were a rep, then if there were reps for other colleges and then the reps for the specific college leave, then people would be new reps for different colleges, like they would be moved.
It's a bylaw thing, in my opinion. We can figure that out a little later.
To meet the minimum that you're putting in the.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So we all in agreement, 28 seats?
Oh, why am I raising my hand? Anyway, last thing, so sorry. I think we should take out the minimums in the Constitution, just so we don't know contingency plan days. Like, we don't know if there's like no Senate one day and then we're unconstitutional. I think we should just leave it as maximums, like have a maximum, but no minimum. Just because we just will never know. There's gonna always be a situation where, what if we have this number and this number can't be filled, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. So
It just makes.
Take take the minimums out, is what you're saying, take minimums out, and then leave it as, okay, the maximums will be determined, okay, that makes sense.
So just as a recap, we're gonna be moving the Senate up to 28. There will be 4 senators per the 6 colleges. That number is 24. And there will be 4 extra seats, 2 allotted for freshmen and 2 allotted for transfer representatives. Those are gonna be what President Pro Tem Rhymes makes as his friendly amendment. So we can have that as our official bill when we vote on it. Is everybody understanding of that?
Yeah, so I'm about to make the friendly amendment, but I'll just read it off for you, just so everyone can hear it for the record. So the section reads, Section 3, Student Senate Composition. The Student Senate shall be comprised of 28 total senators. Each senator shall serve as a representative of one of the 6 colleges, which include College of Business and Economics, College of Education, College of Fine Arts and Communication, College of Health Professions, College of Liberal Arts, and Fisher College of Science and Mathematics. The staff advisors will ultimately determine the number of seats for the academic year. The minimum number, we're going to take that out, but the minimum number of seats for each college is 2, so that's removed. And it also reads, the number of seats delegated to each college is dependent on the number of students in each college during that academic year. The student body of Towson University can elect no more than 24 senators. Out of the remaining 4 seats, 2 are reserved for transfer students and 2 are reserved for freshman students. Any senator who is appointed must be interviewed by the Senate Selection Committee and appointed by the Student Government Association Vice President.
Okay, are there any more questions? Anything even outside of the new Associate Justice Bryant?
So with the removal of the judicial board, like it's no longer being in existence, like how does that change the responsibilities for the judicial branch?
I would make the argument that it doesn't, because it's not exactly a removal, more of a combination. So everyone is just under judicial branch now.
Just to add, it just split, removes the split language. It would just, there was always confusion about who is referring to in the document. So you all are just now one entity now.
Director Brown.
Yeah, for clarification, Associate Justice Bryant, last year and I guess past administrations, judicial board and judicial branch were being used interchangeably, even though they were 2 different things technically, because the branch had the Office of Solicitor General along with the judicial board, and it got really confusing. So with President Pro Tem Rhymes removing the Office of Solicitor General, it was no point of having 2 names for something that was the same thing. Okay.
Okay, so for the record, I am making a friendly amendment to Article 2, Section 3, which is Student Senate Composition, and just changing the language within it. So I just read off what was changed, but for the record, I'm making a friendly amendment. So are there any additional questions about anything in the Constitution? I know we had some time to review it a little bit more thoroughly, so.
Okay, great. With that, we can move into a vote on resolution number 13, Senate Bill number 13.
Someone asked to call to question, I believe.
Entertain the call. Question. Oh, yes, Advisor Harris.
Okay. Are you going to read the amendments? The friendly amendments?
He read it. He read it.
Would you like me to read it again, just for the record?
Okay, want to acknowledge what you read still included half of the language that was being used if you were going to do different number of seats per college. So is that being removed?
Wait, stay.
So what Pro Tem Rhymes read a few minutes ago still had language related to if we were going to do Senate seats that were different number of seats per college. And the advisor wouldn't have anything to do if your maximum number of seats is 4 for each college, correct? So it sounds like there's still language in there that it sounds unnecessary.
So are you suggesting I should just move the sentence where it says the staff advisors will ultimately determine the number of seats for the academic year? Since that would just,
It doesn't sound like there's anything we need, that an advisor needs to determine if it's 4 seats per college, right? Up to 4 seats?
So basically, it would basically remove the language of anywhere stating the advisor picking seats or anything like that.
yeah. So I'll reread it again and then make a separate friendly amendment. But this is Article 2, Section 3, Student Senate Composition. The Student Senate shall be comprised of 28 total senators. Each senator shall serve as a representative of one of the 6 colleges, which include College of Business and Economics, College of Education, College of Fine Arts and Communication, College of Health Professions, College of Liberal Arts, and Fisher College of Science and Mathematics. The number of seats delegated to each college is dependent on the number of students in each college during the academic year.
Pause. That's the
part.
change,
Okay.
right?
Strike that.
So the number of seats is, the maximum number of seats per college is 4? Is that that's what y'all discussed?
Yeah.
So just want to make sure y'all were on the same page.
All right. So I'll reread it again from top to bottom. So this is Article 2, Section 3, Student Senate Composition. The Student Senate shall be comprised of 28 total senators. Each senator shall serve as a representative of one of the 6 colleges, which include College of Business and Economics, College of Education, College of Fine Arts and Communication, College of Health Professions, College of Liberal Arts, and Fisher College of Science and Mathematics. The maximum number of seats for each college is 4. The student body of Towson University can elect no more than 24 senators. Out of the remaining 4 seats, 2 are reserved for transfer students and 2 are reserved for freshman students. Any senator who is appointed must be interviewed by the Senate Selection Committee and appointed by the Student Government Association Vice President. So does that read well to everyone? All righty, so I make a friendly amendment to change specifically Article 2, Section 3, Student Senate Composition to the updated language, which I just read.
Perfect. Senator Cynthia Wilson.
I called a question on Senate Bill 13.
All right, is there a second?
I second.
All right, with that, we now move to a vote on Senate Bill 13. All right, now with that, the call to question is now passed and Senate Bill 13 has passed, so we'll now go to its right place. Oh.
You gotta actually vote.
Oh, I thought that's what that was. I'm so sorry. Now we're in the vote. Very God. No, we didn't pass. Oh, it's just a vote. The motion passed. Now we're moving into a vote. The voting is now open. Okay, with that, the bill is now passed. Thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for allowing for the entire bill. I'm relinquishing my duties as your annual pro temp board. It was fun while it lasted, y'all.
Senator Duru,
I motion to break Senate rules and to review Senate Bill 14.
is there a second? Thank you, Government Operations Chair Crosby. With that, we can now move into a vote. Review 14. All right, it's now open. Great. With that, the motion is passed. We can now move into the review phase of Senate Bill number 14. Government Operations Chair Crosby, you could just introduce it for us, tell us a little bit about it.
We're moving around a lot today. All right, so this bill is concerning our election policy. Yeah. Just a reminder, I sent it out in the email, the updated version in the email at like the beginning, close to the beginning of GA. So look at your emails from me and you'll see the updated version of this. And just for the record and for our great advisor Harris, I will read the bill since we are setting a new version of it. So anything new that's not in the original bill packet will be a friendly amendment that I'll make at the end. All of these additions, all of these changes are suggestions from Chris Randosh. If you don't know, he's in charge of everything elections. Sadly, he cannot be here. So I'll be here to do my best to answer any questions and interpret the changes as they are. So if anybody has it, you can read along, but I'll read it out loud. Article 1, Election Commission Appointment, Powers and Responsibilities. A head commissioner will be chosen. It used to be majority vote of the election commission members, but will now be chosen by the SGA election commission advisor. All election commission correspondence will be sent by this person on behalf of the entire election commission. So that just changes who chooses the election commission. Article 2, Election Administration. It is a new section. Candidates are encouraged to direct students to any polling station or involved at TU to cast their votes. However, voting is a confidential process where tickets and candidates are expected to respect the privacy of individuals trying to vote. This includes, but not limited to, tickets and candidates may not have student voting at their personal computers or electronic devices. Requesting students share digital screenshots of their casted votes, hovering over students as they cast their ballots and pointing to names for them to select, asking a student to log in into their Evolve TU account, and a candidate casting votes on their behalf. Basically, all candidates should respect the voting process of our students and should just be encouraging them to vote, nothing more, nothing less. All right, very slight change in the campaign regulations, section 2. A verbal campaigning may begin on the day petitions are distributed. Verbal campaigning is defined as any, it struck the word nonverbal, so any verbal, non-written, spoken word, or dialogue promoting one's candidacy or political position Verbal campaigning prior to 4 p.m. on the day positions are due may only be done in the context of trying to obtain signatures. Candidates may not attend student organization meetings, outlining the entirety of the platform, table, or any other mass promotion of one's candidacy prior to 4 p.m. on the day petitions are due. Again, no showing up to org meetings, no getting tables in the union, nothing until 4 p.m. after positions are due. So no campaigning early in layman's terms. I'm gonna refrain from reading these whole sections. Section 3, university support. I actually have to read this whole one. Any individual, organization, or residence hall, instruct department endorsing a candidate or ticket will be subject to all applicable SGA election policy rules. If an election policy rule is violated, then the responsible parties may be responsible for appearing before instruct university judicial affairs or the student organization judicial process and added the SGA Election Commission or Student Accountability and Restorative Practices. The Election Commission reserves the right to sanction a candidate or ticket on behalf of the actions on any individual, organization, residence hall, or department. University departments are not eligible to endorse candidates. So that last line is important. Anybody that is supporting your campaign has to follow the same rules you do. They're not separate. You all are now one entity. So anybody supporting you, please make sure that they're following campaigning rules as outlined. And a completely new section, section 13. All election-based space reservations for candidates must be placed by the SGA administrative assistant. Candidates may begin communicating space reservation requests at the time of picking up their petition. Details for how to submit these requests will be included in the bill packet for petitioners. Any campaign event reservations outside of tabling requests must be submitted by the date and time that petitions are due. Candidates may not reserve space during the hours of election commission polling on election days. Reservations are not guaranteed and subject to availability. Subsection A reads, candidates/tickets wishing to host events during the campaign process will be personally accountable for any associated event and conference services, ECS, costs. Any unpaid or accumulated costs will be billed to the individual candidate through the student and university billing office. In the case of a ticket, these costs will be evenly split among and charged to all members of the ticket. That just basically means that you will not be able to book rooms other than going to our SGA admin assistant, and then any costs that you guys incur during that process will be billed to you and according to your ticket or individual. Any questions for Ron?
Just a note, I will say, since we currently don't have an SGA admin assistant, I believe Chris Rendosh said that we would just do all of that through his assistant. Yeah, we're gonna have one, but like just for as of right now, if anyone wondered like how we do that, we don't have a SGA assistant at the moment.
Yeah, so any questions that you guys have, those who are entering into the campaign process, Chris will be there and in meetings with you, advising you how to navigate this. So this isn't something that you have to just know on the top of your head anyway. So that process will be outlined in any campaign meetings you guys are subject to entering into the campaign season. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Perfect.
Hearing no further discussion, we can now move into a vote on Senate Bill number 14 in its entirety. All right, with that, Senate Bill number 14 is passed. Are there any announcements? Vice President Bell.
All right, I know today was Olympia GA, and I'm glad to see you all stay through. I just wanted to wish Ramadan Mubarak to all those who are observing this occasion. And yeah, that's all I want to say. I forgot to put in my notes earlier.
Any additional announcements? Attorney General Jallow.
I just wanted to say that if we're ever in the situation that we're getting close to Maghrib time for those who are fasting, just go ahead and leave. Y'all don't have to say anything. That's it.
Government Operations Chair Crosby. Motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Thank you, Senator Duro. With that, we can have vote to the vote of adjournment. With that, we're adjourned.
No.